Right. Welcome back to session 8, which deals with teams in organizations. A team is normally seen as a mature group, usually comprising of people with interdependence, motivation, and sometimes a shared commitment to accomplished goals and so on. Usually the goals are something that the individuals have approved. So please note that the distinction between teams and groups can be arbitrary and is sometimes vague. So a total commitment to common goals and accountability to the team is what makes a team stand out and distinguish itself from immature developing groups. So in this session, our focus is on the definition of teams, types of team, effectiveness, and of course types and team effectiveness, and of course factors that promote team effectiveness largely. So this will be our guiding topics: team, definitions, types, and team effectiveness. So teams and teamwork are popular terms in management these days. And team approach to management or managing organization is having a significant impact on individuals and organizations. So teams promise to be a cornerstone of progressive management for the foreseeable future, something that we will live with for a very long time to come. So according to management expert Peter Drucker, tomorrow's organizations will be flatter, information-based, and organization organized around teams. Managers will therefore have to polish their team skills. That's what he said. James Bachman, the General Electric Director of Corporate Management Development, has said that the people who will excel will be those who can build a team and integrate it with others. They are just underscoring the relevance of teams in organizations. So a team is viewed as a mature group, usually comprising of interrelated groups motivated or shared commitment to accomplish agreed upon goals. According to Katzenbach and Smith, a team is a small number of people with complementary skills who are committed to a common purpose, performance goals, and approach for which they hold themselves mutually accountable. So the average size of a team normally will range from 2 to 25, even though people will think that 10 members will be more effective. So the essence of a team is common commitment. And a group becomes a team when the following are achieved. Leadership becomes a shared activity, not an individual based. Where accountability shifts from strictly individual to both individual and collective. Group develops its own purpose and mission. The problem, what you call the problem solving becomes a way of life, not a part-time activity. Effectiveness is measured by group collective outcomes and not based on individual achievement. We also need to know that what are some of the sources? Why do you think there's so much focus on team and teams? The growing success of Japan, potential quality improvement, enhanced productivity through the bringing together of people of complementary skills, organizational structure, organizational structuring efforts, especially those that have to do with flattering the organization. Many organizations also use teams because of the terms, the firm successes. Microsoft corporations, use of software research and development team have made phenomenal contribution to the success of the company. We are now looking at the types of teams. There are 1, 2, 3, about 5 types, 5 main types that we have discussed here: problem solving, cross-functional, virtual teams, research and development teams, and then self-managed teams. We take them in turn. Problem-solving teams are usually formed to deal with problems. They may be known or yet to be identified. Example is a problem-solving team, or problem of a problem-solving team is what we call the quality control cycles, or quality cycles. Cross-functional team, on the other hand, consists of members with different functional departments, from engineering, accounting, HR, marketing, etc. They use different skills and they come and complement each other. This usually will increase the camaraderie, the trust, the spirit, the core, and that eventually will enhance the performance of organizations. Cross-functional teams sometimes take time to become effective. They build trust, they peak performance because of past experience, and so on and so forth. There's a virtual team. That's you need to know. And usually, people who are geographically dispersed, living in some different areas. Somebody can be here, Swedru, Yakrum, Pam, Nima, wherever, so can you Takrade or Takrade, some may be in Takwa, may Kumasi, half a cine, Keta, etc. And they can constitute a team, the virtual team. Or somebody may be in Ghana, some may be in South Africa, some may be in New York, some may be in Harare, Zimbabwe, and so on, also constituting a team. So it become important because of the need of faster decisions. So the World Bank, for instance, if you want to take a decision, somebody can sit in the World Bank office in Accra, somebody in Harare, somebody in Washington, D.C., and they can take decisions. You understand? Real time. Usually they will use, emails, desktop, real video conferencing, among others, to facilitate interactions, and it's very effective. So companies like Hewlett Packard, the IBM, the Procter & Gamble, among others, have used virtual teams effectively. They work together to improve customer service. You need leaders who behave like coaches, or build trust. They evaluate performance, provide the feedback, and so on. So in such teams, you need high motivating workers, individuals, as members of the team. Otherwise, it won't work. Then you have the R&D teams, and now the research and development teams, and as the name suggests, all that they do is look into research and develop new products, or deal with innovations in a field. Research, development teams are normally set up to expedite innovation, and all that they do is that they create new product designs. And the research team, or the term research and development, was really coined by a Lockheed engineer during the World War II. And such teams are usually referred to as SANC works, referred to the SANC. So the self-managed teams, and usually a small group of individuals empowered to perform activities with minimum outside direction. And usually they are not for everyone, nor have they been successful in every organization. Sometimes before you employ this type of you need to look at the business requirement, look at the values and goals, you look at the competence levels. You must be interested in management and commitment of the people, the receptivity to change within the group, and employee trust in management. If these things exist, then you are likely to be more productive. So the effectiveness, this thing that we are looking at is team effectiveness. Now, the effectiveness of elected teams is really a straightforward matter of who wins and who loses. And things become even complicated when the focus shifts to work teams today, the organization today. When we are dealing with the team's performance, the two important things that we are looking at is performance and variability. So performance means acceptability of output to the customers within our outside organization who receive team products and so on and so forth. And of course, team viability is also defined as team member satisfaction and continued willingness to really contribute. Are the team members better or worse off having contributed to the team? A team worker or a work team is not truly effective if get a job done, but then it leads to what we call self-destruct. Sometimes you can finish a piece of work and you are so tired, or sometimes you finish a piece of work and you don't even want to come back to the organization, and so on. That cannot be effective. So a competitive pressure increases, organizational success increases, or depends on the team rather than perhaps the individual stars. Companies such as Microsoft, Xerox, and others fill the position of corporate president, usually looking for teams. And to Poli of Xerox, he has said that, I will hope that we have been clear enough that one of the criteria of this new organization is working together. He further said that future Xerox leaders will be drawn only from those who can cooperate. Anyone who isn't a team player will be automatically excluded from succession. That's important in quote. So this underscores the critical importance of teams in organizations. So what are some of the factors responsible for team effectiveness? Training. So training is necessary for problem solving, creative thinking, and interpersonal skills. Team members must be well versed in the company's philosophy on teams, team mission, and new roles and responsibilities of individual members. So the following skills are necessary, for team members to be effective. There must be open-mindedness. Why not? There must be emotional stability. Why not? High level of accountability is required. Problem-solving ability is important. Communication skills. The members must also have conflict resolution skills, and they must build trust among each other. Communications, as I said, there's a need for very important. Managers must release critical information necessary for team effectiveness. If the teams are created, management must make the necessary information available to them. The individuals must be empowered. Teams that lack authority will not be able to work, and lack of effective authority suggests to team members that management does not even trust them, and that much, and that this will further reduce their effectiveness. What you also would need to know is that there must also be the reward systems. The reward systems in organizations are individually based. Now, if the reward system is team-based, it will enhance the team effort. If it is individual based, then people become individualistic. In the places where blasters are playing and individual members are looking for contracts, it leads to selfishness. People get a ball, they don't even want to pass. But when the group is rewarded based on maybe bonuses and among others, when somebody is in a better position to score, you give the ball to him because the total group that is going to be rewarded, the team that is going to be rewarded. Cooperation individuals are said to be cooperating when their efforts are systematically integrated. So the greater the integration, the greater the cooperation, and so on. Trust is reciprocal, and that must be interested. We must be interested in. And according to Fernando Bartolome, we build trust through the following: through communication. We have to be candid about one's own problems and limitations. And we also will build trust through the support and people who are also approachable, who are people who are prepared to provide help, advice, coaching, support. There must also be respect. Delegation in the form of real decision-making authority is the most important expression of management respect. Active listening to ideas of others is also a close second. So there are some people, if you don't listen to them when they are talking and you interject or cut them through, or cut them in, what it means is that you don't even respect the views they want to express. So listening is also important, and that will give a sense to these team members that their efforts are being really rewarded. Of course, fairness. We must be quick to give credit where it is due, and we must recognize it when it is people deserve it. Make sure all performance appraisals and evaluation are objective and impartial. These are some of the things that you will do to promote it to team effectiveness, which will subsequently enhance organizational productivity. Thank you very much.